You will probably have heard culture eats strategy for breakfast, and I fully agree with that, 100%. Often you see companies change their strategy, so every 3 to 5 years, but their underlying performance is not. And then the main theory is that it's actually because you're not changing the culture. You don't change the way that people interact with each other and interact with external stakeholders. And to me, that's very important. That's why you will hear me talk a lot about the winning culture. Well, I know you have already in the past, and you will hear so in the future. But what do I really mean with that when I talk about the winning culture that I want to create within Stolt Tankers? Well, let me talk a little bit about that. And I think we have a good starting point. You know, if you remember the picture that we have, you know that on the bottom are the 4 values of the company. And I think they are great. They're given to us by the family, of course, but I see them being lived in the company, and that is great. Maybe we can do more of it, of course, but in essence, they're there. We are committing to go further. We're quite ambitious company, so that's very good. We are creating solutions, and particularly towards our customers. And how do I know that? Because our customers are telling us that. We are collaborating for success. Otherwise, we would not be successful in the eyes of the customers. And we are acting pragmatically. There's not a lot of theoretical and big mambo jumbo in this company, as I've seen in some other companies. No, we are using our common sense to make decisions, and that is all great. Those are 4 important values. You could argue that we miss one value, and you will have heard it in our vision statement. We should see safety as a value as well. Let's see safety as not something that comes from the top, not something that needs to be written down in procedures, but as something that is intrinsic in who we are and how we act. Maybe we're not there yet, and I'm sure we are there, by the way, when I look at the ships. But maybe we're not there yet on the shore side. And if we're not there on the shore side, then maybe the interaction between shore and ship is not always as it could be. So I think it's important that we put safety also in the middle of that winning culture and actually see it as the 5th value that we have. Now, on top of that, we're building that continuous improvement mindset. And the continuous improvement mindset for me is always about 4 things. It's about being customer-centric, it's about being process-driven, it's about being fact-based, and it's about being purpose-led. 4 things, very important things. Customer centricity, let's start with that one. That's the one that we create value for. And if we don't do that, we don't have a license to operate. In our company, I often see that we look very much towards the shareholder or we look towards the vessel. And that's great, they are very important, but they're not as important as the value delivery that we need to do to our customer. Because let's face it, if we don't deliver the value to the customer, they will not pay the bills and there won't remain anything for the shareholder. And by understanding what the value is as seen by the customer, we can create the right product. And for that product, obviously we need our ships. So yes, the focus on the ships is important, but only as a function of what creates value to our customers. So it's very important. And when we create value to our customers, it's not you by yourself. It's certainly not me. It's all of us together. And when it's all of us together, let's make sure that we are all focusing towards that customer and that all noses are in the same direction. In other ways, that we are process driven, that we know exactly how we are delivering value to the customer and that each of us knows in that chain what our responsibilities are. Right now we talk a lot about the silo culture that we have, and silos imply that you look upwards. You look what your boss thinks or what you need to give to your team. And so I'm asking you, yeah, maybe that's important, but I actually find more important that you understand what the customer wants, and maybe even more important what the one between you and the customer wants. because that's the one that you are delivering something to. And that's being process driven. So not only look up and down, but primarily look horizontally. Very important. And when we look horizontally and we need to make decisions, let's do it fact-based. No, we have a great company. There's a lot of passion always in shipping, and that's what I love about it so much. But when we take decisions, it needs to be based on facts and not only on gut feel and instinct. Yes, it will come into play, of course, and we need to take decisions about an uncertain future. But let's try to be fact-based as much as we can. And certainly when we make changes in the process. And then it's about being purpose-led. Always have that in mind. The vision of the company that we've created, and hopefully you've seen the movie, that is sort of our the North Pole, the Pole Star. That's our guiding light. That's where we want to go for. So it always needs to be in that context, in which we then create that value for the customers. We do it process-driven, and we do it based on facts. So it's a lot of words, and it becomes a complicated picture. So what is it that I really ask of you, and what I would like to see? And in essence, it just comes down to the fact that I would so much like Stolt Tankers to be a learning organization. And for Stolt Tankers to be a learning organization, it implies that every individual in that organization needs to be adopting that desire to learn. And the desire to learn is really, I can only say that in one clear way, is that I feel actually we have two jobs in this company. The first one is, of course, to do the job, and what's in our job description and what we need to do to create that value to the customers. That's the first one. But the second one is to improve that job. And I often say that, whatever you have done today is probably very good. It's probably outstanding. Again, our customers, they value what we deliver. But tomorrow, it's just not good enough. Let's try to make it a little bit better. And when I say making it a little bit better, I don't mean send another email or put in some extra hours. It's not at all about that. Actually, it's the opposite. Maybe we can send fewer emails. Maybe it's also about not doing so much, but just understand what is really necessary. What's now the focus of what I'm trying to do, and let's just do that. So it's not always about doing more. It's often about doing less. And how do you learn? You learn by interacting with others. And you learn about being open and honest about mistakes you've made. And let's celebrate the learning we get from that mistake, and let's not then punish the mistake. And that's what I invite you to do. And that's hopefully what we're going to do in this whole continuous improvement journey, which starts with the Primrose Yellow Belt. I'm really excited that this journey is now starting, and I wish you a lot of fun, a lot of success, and I also love to hear what you think about it, and maybe you can share that with me in the future. Enjoy the training and have fun. Bye-bye.